Welcome to Fargo Talks Fargo, a podcast on the FX television series. I'm Bill, and I'm here with my buddy Charpie, and we're going to talk about the most recent episode of Fargo. Charpie, what up?
Yes, Camp Elegance. Hey now, Bill, what's going on? Happy Sunday.
Yeah, likewise to you. How was your week? I feel like we should, it's a tough times. I hope all you guys out there listening are doing well. We're here, it's a tough subject matter, but we can be positive about this, right?
Yeah, totally. The world is on fire. It's also snowing here in Denver today, where I am.
Really?
And it's also on fire. So that's cool.
We have actual snow here in Fargo. And not the kind that, comes down. You know how it goes. Like, sometimes it comes down and you're like, oh, no, snow. And then, 2 days later, it's gone.
Yeah.
This has been on the ground for quite a few days. We got a nice light dusting. But you know what? By the end of the week, it's going to be 59 here, and it'll be gone for a little while. So good luck to those kids who want to trick or treat. But you probably shouldn't. There.
I remember it never failed growing up in Fargo, North Dakota. It never failed. I would get this, great Halloween costume ready. And every Halloween, I don't know why I put so much time into Halloween costumes, because you always end up just covering it up with snow pants and big poofy jackets. You spend all this time on this ghoul costume and then just end up wearing your snowsuit every single Halloween. Every single one.
Many childhood memories have been ruined. Halloweens have been ruined like that. You're spot on. Or you go out and you think you're gonna tough it out, and you realize that holding that empty pillow sack with no gloves on gets real old real quick.
Yeah. Did you ever go to the mall and trick or treat and just walk around in the mall?
That wasn't a thing. I don't think back when I was a kid. And that was back in the. I was a kid when Jacob Wetterling was abducted. And anyway, speaking of trying not to be, let's talk about Camp Elegance. What are your big thoughts? What do you think? I mean, outside of it was an hour episode tonight. Well, I'm sorry. It was from 9 to 10:03, if we're going to get specific.
I don't know how long it was without commercials. We'll find out.
What's your scoop of Hotdish from tonight?
As I'm nibbling on this Hotdish, my thought was that it felt like a lot happened, but also nothing happened. So a lot happened in the sense of there were big staccato kind of moments. And then there was not a lot in terms of the weaving and winding of the intricacies of the story. I mean, there was to a point.
Yeah,
I mean, we're at the point now where we're going to war and that kind of stuff. But
I feel like we've been at war for multiple episodes, but it's that weird grinding war. You're like, are we at war? Well, we're kind of at war. We've been sending out soldiers, and some people have died.
I found myself relaxing a little bit in this one because it didn't feel like such of a mental overload with some of the symbolism and stuff like that. It felt like I can just chill out and kind of watch the action play out, which I really liked. I've got some notes here and some things to dive into, but it was a far cry from other episodes where I'm just hammering on my keyboard. I'm just oh, we got to talk about this and we got to talk about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt like it was an episode of action.
Yeah.
And when I say action, I don't mean Rambo, First Blood action. I just mean we cut from quite a few scenes to scenes, and I think also with the shortened time frame of the show, it was boom, Ethelrida. Boom, now we're talking to Loy. Boom, we're at the Italian's house. We're at the hospital. Now we're at the club talking to the consigliere. I mean, I mean, do you feel like that's what you're talking staccato-wise?
Yeah, exactly.
It was just... Yeah. It was pace. We need to move, slowly rolling all the boulders down the hill. Like the action could very well pick up from here.
Yeah, it felt sort of like we were just moving to the beat of a drum, like a little drummer boy might play. What do you know about little drummer boys?
Boy, we're not taking them down that poor road again.
Come on.
Nope.
I was vindicated.
Nope. Come, they told me. Pa-ra-pa-pum-pum. But yes, I'm sorry. You're not. It's not only for Christmas, but it's for war.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever read the book or heard of the book Atomic Habits?
No.
Have you read that book? Okay.
No.
It's okay. There's a.
Well, thanks.
It's one of your run-of-the-mill kind of self-help. Here's how you be a better person and be better at things type book. There's a
Clearly it didn't
there's a there's a theme to the book where the author compares motion versus action. And so if we're talking about action in this episode, it's just the motion would be the planning, the laying the groundwork, that kind of stuff. Motion sounds like an action,
Sure.
but in his method, when you really like separate these two things out, it makes sense. So motion is like laying the groundwork, character development, backstories, things like that. Action is what we came to here, where you're just like knocking stuff down, boom, 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 and it did really feel sort of musical in that sense in this episode.
Well, I did screenshot that so that I know that book. We're talking about Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones, by James Clear, correct?
That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah, this was it was an interesting episode in many ways. I kind of find myself getting so wrapped up in our discussion about astrological signs and the Wizard of Oz. And I know I have a couple really great emails. I need to reread some. Unwilling to talk to
emails.
I need to send them to you. And so we'll come back to those, and we do always appreciate all of your feedback. So thanks to everybody who's sent us some great notes. But this is the hot dish. This isn't the
thing. So what is your hot, steamy, juicy dish?
I found myself towards the end. Yeah. I found myself towards the end, and I feel like I missed something when I'm sorry, spoilers ahead. If you're ahead of stuff, you better watch that. That staircase they went down, and I know there's something I'm just missing, but I missed where they were.
So they were at Camp Elegance Relocation Center.
Okay.
So Antoon was the character that brought Satchel there. So Antoon was a prisoner of war, Italian, and apparently he was taken to this camp to, kind of like get, I don't know, brought into American society or something.
Well, it feels like, yes, he was like an Italian prisoner of war is what I was kind of picking up on, because he's very, he's still got he's like Gaetano. He's got the serious accent. He's first gen still. But yeah, I just was trying to figure that all out, the staircase and the carving, because it's Antoon Domini, right? Is that his character's name?
Yep.
So, Tony God.
And his wife's name was Nanita.
What is what?
His wife's name was Nanita. Back at the house.
I thought I was just trying to, I found, maybe it's just because it's close to the last thing I saw, and I have to admit, I knew he wasn't going to shoot the kid.
Yeah, he looked like...
I just didn't know what was going to happen. And I thought maybe he was just going to pocket it, but when that bullet came popping through his chest, I was like, oh, jeez.
Rabbi Milligan made it there in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, I tell you.
Well, without GPS, he sure located them fast.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're going to talk other quick takes, obviously Oraetta had, like, I feel like she recognized something at the desk, like the handwriting, or there was something about it, because she went from being freaked out to just hyper focused, like laser focused on that handwriting when she could see it. And I wonder if it will be that this will be the undoing of Ethelrida's handwriting in the notebook she left in the closet.
Yep, exactly. You nailed that one, I think.
So
for sure.
Yeah.
So she's gonna match those up. She's a sharp cookie.
Fun connections. Did you, or what else did you catch that was cool for you?
Well, we saw young Joe Bulo.
Yeah.
Joe Bulo showed up in the club. He's from season 2. He's played by Brad Garrett in season 2. Great character.
Oh my God, that is. I wrote down Joe Bulo from New York. All I wrote was, we should know him.
Yeah, Joe Bulo from New York in this season, but in up until before this episode, we know Joe Bulo from Kansas City Mafia, who is going to start a northern sort of like faction of the Kansas City mob. Mm-hmm. He was then in season 2 beheaded by Hansi.
Yes,
and Hansi sent Mike Milligan Joe Bulo's head. Yeah,
in a box. Yeah, what's in the box? There's something I just love about Brad Garrett's face.
Oh, Brad Garrett is lovely man.
No matter what role he's playing, there's just something about his face. I just want to smoosh it between my hands.
He's got a good dad face where he can be like the fun-loving, goofy dad, but also the very intimidating, scary dad at the same time.
Speaking of scary,
it's spooky season.
Mr. Snowman behind Ethelrida when the candles get blown out.
Yeah, who is this guy gonna be?
I don't know.
There's not a single prediction there. There's no. I have nothing. I have no idea who this man's gonna be.
I feel like this week I had a little less time to think about it because I just had too many other things going on.
Do you think that
stuff.
maybe
like got a colonoscopy this last week?
Oh yeah.
yeah. We don't need to go into details on that anyway.
But the details are so good.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Well, that's on our other podcast.
Okay.
Bill and Charpie talk shit. Man, I didn't. That Gaetano, I thought for a minute, I thought they like super smoked him, but evidently, all of a sudden, I'm like, whoa, wait, he's alive. I missed something.
Yeah. Apparently, he's alive. He just happens to have like a bullet lodged in his skull,
or something, or she popped it off in his ear and just grazed him on purpose to like concuss him.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway,
maybe she's just
second watch.
Yeah,
second watch is gonna be.
Maybe
important.
she was using a .22 and he just has that thick of a skull.
Yeah. Quick catches for me though, just in terms of other movie connections. Did you catch that? Because I just know you like the movie. That when we had that flashback to Doctor talking to Loy, I was like, oh, there's like a stock ticker. That's very Hudsucker Proxy.
I did not catch that. You sent that, and the scene had just finished. You texted me that, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh, so yeah, I didn't. I was trying to type it so fast. I had this moment of like, wait, I was gonna say Tim Robbins movie thingy, and I couldn't spit out the words Hudsucker Proxy.
Great movie.
Yeah. We've talked about that almost every season.
Every season.
The only little thing I noticed just about Odis, that. Oh wait, that was the other thing. The other scene. The total original movie throwback, getting all wrapped up in the shower curtain.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go deep, original catalog, when she gets all wrapped up in it in the original movie Fargo.
Yep.
Kristen, I just forgot her last name. Local Fargo actress. Kristen Rudrud. Who And the only other little thing was, I don't know, probably making too much out of it, but no biggie. Otis's hat is brown, very lion, like that lion's mane brown.
That's an interesting thought.
Brown hat. I'm sure there's plenty of other things I caught, but we don't need to.
I was counting all the things of 5 in his apartment, so
a lot of it, wasn't it? And I thought it kind of telling that in the background is when he shows up to talk to Loy, they're at this, I have a tip typed somewhere, Pee-wee boxing gym,
I saw that.
Like Pee-wee, like small, and I thought,
I saw that, and I made a note of it because my grandfather's name was Pee-wee.
Oh, I remember you saying that one time.
And he's from Fargo, so there you go. There's a tie-in.
Look at that.
There's people from Fargo named Pee-wee.
I'm sure they knew. I'm sure they knew.
And he was a boxer.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. I bet he boxed. He was feisty. He was a feisty Irishman. Very, very short. Shorter than me.
But yeah. And then, just the other main thing was like, boy, that's some creepy Oraetta at the end, man. When the moaning finally stops. Just, hey, people, eat a solid diet. Don't get gout. Treat your body well. Eat enough plants.
You can get gout in all kinds of ways. But yes, that is the most popular ways, like rich foods and stuff they say. But I mean, heck, you can get gout from friggin' kale.
Somewhere there's somebody like, no!
Don't eat too much kale. You gotta switch up your greens. You gotta switch them up. Keep a good rotation in there. Everything.
I think you're spot on, Charpie.
About gout?
I think you're about this is it's a really good staccato show. I think when we watch it again, we'll catch all the other pieces, but it was a very different pace. The closest to any major like speechifying was, maybe Loy had Little Bit One talking about he's having a bad day too, and 400 years of history, and the dolls being owned and all of that. But yeah,
That was a good little
It's gonna
bit
be
with the
good.
dolls. I like
Yeah.
that bit.
Yeah, too bad they couldn't answer all of our deep and burning questions about Hummel figurines.
No, I totally thought he was going to smash one of those figurines. I don't see them
Didn't
surviving
you?
the season.
But then I just realized, I don't know. That's just not Loy's character. At first, I thought he was going to destroy him, but he was talking about them with kind of a reverence. So he's like, "Why would?" Then I thought, "Yeah, why would he like crush?"
Yeah, he
that
can't
stuff?
do it because then
He can't do it.
He's the doll in his story.
Yeah, but we definitely are continuing our twos as well because, you know, Ebel comes back and there's 2 conditions. They have 2 weeks to fix it, and they have 2 things they want done. You know,
Man, we're still going with the 2s. I thought we were done.
the writers aren't done.
All right.
You got 2 conditions and 2 weeks to fix them. I don't know. Partridge in a pear tree. 2.
Yep.
Right? No, that's the 1. 2 turtle doves.
2 turtle
Sorry.
doves, yep.
Gosh, I'm not. You know what? I know the snow fell, but it's not Christmas yet. But I think, you know what? I think there's gonna be more. I look forward to talking about this tomorrow night.
Yeah, that'll be good.
All right, man. We'll catch you then.
All right. See you later, folks.